Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not move past this video. I am not asking, I am warning you. This is not a coincidence. The algorithm absolutely did not bring you here. God intercepted your feed today because you are standing at the exact threshold of a permanent timeline shift. What I am about to reveal was sealed in the throne room of heaven until this very second. The enemy is working overtime to distract you right now because he knows if you hear this message, his hold over your life breaks completely. If you leave before the end, you will miss the one divine instruction that guarantees the breakthrough you have been crying out for. Lock your attention right now, because the verdict on your next 10 years is about to be read. Someone who treated you as replaceable is currently experiencing a full-blown internal system crash, and it is a public, irreversible collapse. You know exactly who I am talking about. They walked around with absolute arrogance. They constructed a false narrative about you. They whispered lies to anyone who would listen. They expected your departure to break you. But instead, you became the uncertainty they were never built to handle. And now the very people they used to gossip with are watching them unravel. Their mask has not just slipped, it has completely shattered. Buckle in, chosen one, because what you are about to hear is not commentary. It is a specific, undeniable X-ray of the meltdown happening behind closed doors right now. You have been fighting battles in absolute silence. You thought nobody noticed your tears. You thought nobody saw how you held your integrity when they lied on your name. But you were wrong. Someone deeply powerful, whose name carries weight in rooms you have never stepped into, has been quietly watching you. They were not looking at your highlight reel. They were watching your resilience in the dark. Do not scroll away. If you leave this video, you will miss the exact sequence of events that is about to unfold. Your quiet obedience in private has just activated a massive public blessing. But the narcissist is currently spiraling because they know their time is running out. They are desperate. They are frantic. They are making mistakes that even the blind can see. This is the moment their reality clashes with the truth of who you are, and it is not pretty. While you have been healing, they have been decaying. Their envy has become a toxic fuel that is burning them from the inside out. They expected a reaction from you. They needed a reaction from you. But when you gave them nothing, they lost their only leverage. And now, the silence is deafening. Every time your name comes up in their circle, it hits them with the agonizing weight of knowing they threw away the only genuine diamond they ever held just to play with cheap rocks. We are going to examine the pieces. We are going to look at the wreckage of their reputation, because you deserve the vindication that heaven has already signed for you. You are not an anomaly. You are the mirror. The reaction got this loud because you got closer to this person's truth than anyone before you had. You held up a light so bright they could not look at themselves anymore. So they attacked the light, but the light is still here, and the light is still rising. While they scramble for a replacement for you, they are realizing something devastating. Your specific depth is utterly unreplicable. They can try to mirror your style. They can try to copy your moves, but they will never touch your frequency. And that realization is exactly what is driving them insane right now. They are watching you thrive in the very places they predicted you would fail. They are watching you look younger and brighter after everything they put you through. They are watching your energy expand while they shrink into the bitterness of their own making. This is the collapse of a false reality, and you are the witness to their end. Prepare your spirit, because what we are about to uncover is not for the faint of heart. It is the final chapter of their deception, and the first day of your absolute freedom. Do you feel that heavy tightness in your chest? The one that wakes you up at 3 a.m. with your jaw tight and your heart racing? I know you do. You have been carrying a weight that was never yours to hold. That heavy, suffocating sensation is not anxiety. You are not going crazy. That physical weight you feel is your highly advanced spirit detecting the absolute panic of the enemies who just realized they permanently lost access to you. They are starving for your energy, and the spiritual backlash is hitting your body. Stop wondering why they act like nothing happened. Stop waiting in wound for an apology that will never come. In the next few minutes, I am going to hand you the exact spiritual blueprint that cuts their cord to your nervous system forever. You were the stabilizer for a broken system. You were the empath who poured into a bottomless pit of narcissism, and they hated you for it. Not because you were weak, but because you were the only thing keeping them from seeing their own rot. They fear your silence more than they fear your voice. When you spoke, they could argue. When you argued, they could twist your words. But when you went silent, you withdrew your supply. You effectively starved their demons. And now they are cannibalizing their own house, trying to find a way to get back into your energy field. They are desperate to know if you are watching. They are desperate to know if you are angry. They are desperate to know if you still care. And the answer is silence. The answer is moving forward without looking back. That is why this video found you at this exact second. Because heaven is confirming that your season of being the sacrifice is officially over. The cycle of the parasite is ending, and you are the one chosen to witness the final collapse. You have been waiting for a sign. You have been asking if you made the right choice. Well, here is your confirmation. You do not just have the right choice. You have the sovereign choice. You have stepped out of the matrix of their manipulation, and you have walked into the blueprint of your own manifestation. This is where the dynamic fundamentally shifts. They thought they were the architects of your life. They thought they were the gatekeepers of your destiny, but they were only ever the training ground for your authority. Every lie they told was a seed that heaven used to grow your discernment. Every betrayal was a chisel shaping you into the warrior you were born to be. You are not the victim of their story. You are the protagonist of a much larger narrative, and the next few chapters are going to be defined by your power, not by their presence. I need you to stay locked in. I need you to keep your frequency high, because the moment you let your guard down is the moment they try to slip back in. They are looking for a crack in your armor. They are looking for a moment of weakness, but they will not find it here, because you are covered, you are protected, and you are fully equipped for this battle. This is not the time to be soft. This is not the time to be kind. This is the time to be firm in your boundaries. This is the time to be unyielding in your truth. We are going to break down exactly how they are currently making a fool of themselves in public. We are going to look at the specific ways they are failing to replace you. And we are going to look at why your name is the only thing that haunts their quiet moments. This is the closure you have been denied for years, and it is delivered with total precision. Your spirit is already recognizing the truth of these words. That is the cellular knowing you feel right now. It is a vibration in your spirit that says yes. It is a resonance that says, this is the shift I have been praying for. Do not brush that feeling off. Do not let your logic talk you out of your intuition. That feeling is your internal compass, and it is pointing directly to your victory. The enemy knows this. That is why they are working so hard to keep you distracted. They want you focused on the drama. They want you focused on their mess. But we are not going to give them that. We are going to focus on your transformation. We are going to focus on your ascent. You have been in the fire. You have been in the dark. And you have come out with a glow that they will never understand. You have come out with a clarity that they will never possess. This is your power, and it is about to be displayed in a way that they cannot ignore. They thought they buried you. They thought they silenced you. But they only planted you, and now you are blooming in the exact soil where they tried to leave you for dead. The contrast is sharp, and the evidence is undeniable. Keep your eyes on the truth. Keep your heart aligned with the light, and watch what happens next. Now let us go deeper, because what you are feeling right now is not new. If your spirit confirms this raw truth, gently press the like button to seal your energetic alignment with heaven. You have been carrying a phantom weight for months. Let us talk about that exact physical sensation waking you up in the middle of the night. The dearly beloved anointed ones are uniquely sensitive to unseen battles. Your physical body is acting as a radar for spiritual warfare. That heavy, crushing sensation in your chest is not random. It is not just stress from a busy week. You are physically registering the frantic energy of someone who just lost their greatest source of light. You gave them everything you had. You operated as a human battery for a soul that was entirely bankrupt. And they drained you without a single second of hesitation. But now that you have pulled your energy back, they are starving in the dark. That sudden drop in your physical energy is their desperate attempt to siphon your light from a distance. We need to address the thick brain fog and the constant tension in your jaw. The Matrix wants to label this as a clinical issue. They want to medicate your spiritual gifts away, but heaven calls it a frequency mismatch. Your highly advanced spirit is literally vibrating at a level that completely rejects their toxic Matrix programming. Listen to me very closely right now, because 99% of people completely miss this shift. You are the cycle breaker of your bloodline. You have been walking around with a silent pain that nobody else in your family understands. You are the black sheep who chose isolation over a comfortable lie, and that choice took a massive physical toll. You have cried silent tears in your car before walking into a room. You have pasted on a smile while your internal world felt like a chaotic battlefield. The enemy wanted to break your mind by convincing you that you were the problem. They weaponized your pure empathy. They turned your beautiful ability to care into a trap meant to destroy you. But here is the raw, uncomfortable truth they could never say out loud. You were never crazy. You were highly observant. Your nervous system was accurately detecting the massive gap between their public mask and their private reality. You felt their lies in your gut long before your logical brain could find the physical proof. Your body kept the score while your heart tried to give them grace. That is why your shoulders ache. That is why you feel completely depleted after simply being in the same room with certain people. It is an energetic assault. The remnant is not meant to absorb the poison of a narcissist. You were meant to expose it by simply existing. They walked away acting completely unbothered. They paraded their new life to trigger your insecurities, and for a moment, your physical body absorbed that shock. But pay close attention to this next part, because the enemy tried to hide this from you. That physical exhaustion was actually a divine incubation period. Heaven was shielding you. The isolation was never a punishment. It was a divine quarantine. The universe had to physically separate you from their environment to detoxify your cells. The nights you spent staring at the ceiling were not a waste of time. Your spiritual DNA was being rewritten. You were being upgraded while they were simply repeating their toxic cycles. Every time you tried to warn others, they looked at you like you were the villain. The flying monkeys defended the abuser and left you standing alone in the cold. And that specific betrayal physically hurts. It feels like a literal punch to the stomach. But your silent endurance just proved that you are the irreplaceable diamond of the group. Read that again in your spirit. The pain of being misunderstood is the exact price of carrying a prophetic mantle. You cannot expect average minds to comprehend a supernatural assignment. Your frequency makes them wildly uncomfortable because it demands absolute authenticity. And authenticity is the one thing a master manipulator can never produce. Let us close the loop on that midnight panic. The specific reason your chest feels tight at 3 a.m. is because their guilt is echoing in the spiritual realm. They are thinking about you. They are regretting their betrayal. Their dark energy is bouncing off your spiritual shield, and your physical body is simply hearing the heavy impact. You do not need to carry their emotional baggage anymore. You are officially released from the duty of being their emotional stabilizer. Let the phantom weight drop from your shoulders right now. Their spiritual attack has completely failed, and you are about to step into the most powerful season of your life, completely untouched and fully restored. Let me completely reframe your reality right here and right now. You did not lose. The enemy wants you to believe that your departure was a massive defeat. They paraded their fake happiness around to make you feel completely disposable. But this brings us to a critical distinction that eludes the vast majority of people. Your silence was never a white flag of surrender. It was a lethal weapon. They expected you to chase them. They expected you to send long paragraphs begging for closure. They needed your tears to validate their twisted sense of superiority. Because a master manipulator cannot survive without a constant flow of emotional supply. Your reaction is their literal oxygen. But when you finally walked away and locked the door, you cut their air supply completely off. This is exactly where their entire manipulation mathematically miscalculated. They pushed you away, expecting you to crawl back. But they forgot they were dealing with the chosen one. You possess a spiritual discipline that absolutely terrifies them. While they were busy smearing your name, you were busy pulling your energy back into your own sovereign space. And that act of divine restraint changed everything. You see, they thought they were punishing you with their absence, but they accidentally handed you the exact key to your permanent freedom. Now, I need you to imagine this exact scenario happening behind their closed doors. They are sitting in the silence you left behind. The noise of their new life is not loud enough to drown out the massive void you created. You were the mirror that forced them to look at their own deep insecurity. When you were there, they could blame their chaotic behavior on your reactions. They could point the finger and play the victim for their flying monkeys. But without you in the picture, they have no one left to blame. They are standing alone in a room with their own demons, and those demons are completely starving. Watch what happens next, because it is absolutely precise. The very people they used to gossip with are starting to notice the cracks in their mask. The flying monkeys who once defended them are slowly realizing that the narcissist is the actual problem. Your silence did not just starve the enemy. Your quiet dignity completely exposed them to the entire world. If this is resonating with your cellular knowing, do not move. You must understand the sheer magnitude of what you just accomplished. You did not have to plot revenge. You did not have to defend your character in the mud. You simply aligned your frequency with heaven and refused to engage with a lower vibration. That single choice signed their permanent spiritual eviction notice. They are frantically trying to figure out how you moved on so gracefully. They stalk your social media looking for any sign of a breakdown. They want to see you bitter. They want to see you angry, because your anger would mean they still hold power over your emotions. But all they see is a diamond shining brighter under pressure. You are glowing with an ageless light that completely baffles their dark minds. The cycle breaker always faces the heaviest resistance right before a massive timeline shift. You took the hits that were meant to destroy your entire bloodline, but heaven stepped in and used those exact attacks to forge your unbreakable armor. The enemy is now realizing that they never actually had control over you. They merely had temporary access to a kingdom they could never rule. Stay with me, because this next revelation is the key to everything. The Matrix programmed them to believe they won the battle, but the spiritual realm has already recorded their absolute defeat. Your silence was the loudest verdict heaven could have ever delivered. It was a decree that stripped them of their false authority and handed the crown directly back to you. Every day you maintain no contact is another day their internal world crumbles. They are drowning in the noise of their own making. They are desperately trying to fill your shoes with cheap imitations, but they are quickly finding out that an anointed one cannot be replaced. You carry a specific gravity that bends the atmosphere whenever you walk into a room, and they deeply miss that warmth. But the door is permanently shut. You have unplugged from their toxic matrix for good. This is not about holding a grudge. This is about establishing a divine boundary that no demon can ever cross again. You are not just surviving this season. You are stepping into a position of absolute power, and they are completely powerless to stop your massive ascent. When a master manipulator loses their primary emotional supply, they malfunction. They start picking fights with the very people who supported their lies. The flying monkeys are now becoming the new targets of their rage. Your absence literally ignited the fire that is burning their operation to the ground. Vengeance belongs entirely to heaven, and heaven is executing that justice perfectly. Here is what happens when a lie gets built that big. The foundation they built their entire life upon is completely hollow. They spent years crafting a perfect image for the public eye, but the spiritual cost of their betrayal was compounding every single day while you were quietly healing in the shadows. Now the pressure is too much for them to bear. The perfect facade they maintained is finally cracking wide open. Let us break down exactly what happened behind their closed doors. They thought they could seamlessly replace your pure energy with cheap supply. They brought in new people to validate their twisted sense of reality, but those new people simply lack the spiritual depth to sustain a master manipulator for any extended period of time. Their new emotional well is already running completely dry, and the panic is starting to set in. Listen closely, because 99% of people completely miss this shift. The narcissist is currently experiencing a total loss of internal control. They are snapping at minor inconveniences and lashing out at their loyal followers. The flying monkeys who blindly believed every lie are now walking on eggshells around them because they see the erratic behavior firsthand. Their carefully crafted mask is slipping in plain sight. They are contradicting their own stories in front of mutual friends. People are starting to compare notes and realize the math does not add up. The narrative they spun about you being the crazy one is completely falling apart. And the most beautiful part of this divine justice is that you did not have to say a single word. You just sat back and let their own toxicity expose them. Their own tongue has become their greatest enemy. This is a massive shift in the spiritual atmosphere. The anointing on your life is driving them into public panic. Type 777 in the comments right now to claim your power. They cannot understand why you are thriving so beautifully while their entire world is aggressively collapsing around them. It makes absolutely no sense to their programmed minds. You are defying the laws of their reality. Now, I need you to imagine this exact scenario clearly. They walk into a room expecting everyone to worship them like before. They expect the crowd to validate their superiority and feed their fragile ego. But the energy in the room has completely shifted because everyone can physically sense their desperate and highly unstable vibration. The respect they once commanded has turned into quiet pity. They are becoming a joke to the people they tried to impress. This is exactly where their entire manipulation miscalculated. They thought their charisma could hide their lack of character forever. They believed their charm would always protect them from the consequences of their dark actions. But heaven has removed the veil that protected them, and their true nature is bleeding out for everyone to witness. There is no place left for them to hide. The spotlight they craved is now burning their skin. You did not realize your silence was a lethal weapon. It stripped away the emotional buffer that kept their madness in check. Without you absorbing their chaotic energy, it is all bouncing right back onto them. They are literally choking on the very poison they tried to force down your throat for all those miserable years. The universal law of divine karma is absolutely undefeated. They are frantically scrolling through their phone looking for a savior. They reach out to old supplies trying to find a quick hit of validation, but nobody wants to deal with their dramatic energy anymore. All the bridges they burned are still smoking while they stand stranded on a lonely island of their own creation. They are completely isolated in a crowded room, and it is the most terrifying feeling they have ever experienced. Read that truth again deep within your spirit. You survived the worst days of your life completely alone. You faced the darkness head-on and transmuted that pain into absolute power. While they are breaking down under the weight of their lies, you are gracefully stepping into your permanent, ageless glow. The contrast between your lives is becoming a public spectacle. Everyone is watching the tables turn in real time. This brings us to a critical distinction that eludes the vast majority of people. The narcissist cannot heal because they refuse to look in the mirror. They would rather destroy everything around them than admit they have a deep flaw. But their stubborn refusal to grow is the exact mechanism that guarantees their spectacular public downfall in this current season. Their massive, fragile ego is digging their very own grave. They see you completely unbothered, and it makes their blood boil. They hear about your success through the grapevine, and it shatters their false reality. They predicted you would fail miserably without their guidance, but you proved that they were nothing more than a heavy chain holding you back from your true divine potential. You dropped the dead weight and started to fly, and they are stuck on the ground watching you soar. Heaven is now releasing 3 divine revelations about your specific spiritual DNA. The enemy tried to hide this from you. They wanted you feeling small. They needed you feeling weak. But heaven is pulling back the curtain right now. Do not scroll away. The Matrix wants to keep you blind to your true identity, but the truth is about to shatter their illusions. The first absolute truth is that you are a literal timeline bender. You do not just exist in this world like average people who follow the Matrix programming. You actively change the atmosphere. You walk into a room and the frequency immediately shifts. Toxic people feel instantly uncomfortable in your presence. They squirm because your pure light acts as a spotlight on their hidden rot. You are the mirror they desperately want to break. The narcissist knew this from day one. That is exactly why they targeted you. They did not attack you because you were weak. They attacked you because you carry a massive, untamed power that terrified their dark spirits. They wanted to cage you. They thought they could extract your divine energy and claim it as their own. But heaven made your frequency completely uncopyable. Listen to me very closely right now. The second divine truth is that your physical vessel is actually aging backwards. While the enemy is wrinkling under the heavy weight of their own bitterness, you are stepping into a permanent, ageless glow. Your cells are literally regenerating because you cut the cord to their demonic supply. You stopped carrying their lies, and your body is thanking you for it. Look at how radiant you have become since you walked away. The stress that used to sit heavy on your face has completely melted off. People are starting to notice. They look at you and wonder what your deep secret is. They cannot comprehend how someone who went through so much hell looks like an absolute angel. Your physical beauty is a direct manifestation of your spiritual purity. But here is the raw, uncomfortable truth they could never say out loud. The enemy sees your glow. They stalk your pictures online. And it absolutely destroys their fragile ego to see you thriving without them. They wanted your departure to be the tragic end of your story. Instead, it was the catalyst for your massive divine upgrade. You did not just survive the fire, you became the sun. Stay with me, because this next revelation is the key to everything. The third and most powerful truth is that you are the designated cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. The generational curses that plagued your ancestors stop exactly where you currently stand. You took the heavy hits. You endured the profound isolation. You fought battles in the dark that no one else could ever survive. But your quiet endurance was never a sign of defeat. It was the precise forging of an unbreakable diamond. You are the remnant. You are the specific soul chosen to rewrite the history of your family. The pain you endured was simply the friction required to polish a stone of immense value, and now you are reflecting a blinding light that the Matrix cannot suppress. The elite manipulators are terrified of cycle breakers like you, because once you wake up to your true power, you become completely ungovernable. You no longer seek their cheap validation. You no longer fall for their tired manipulation tactics. You have developed a spiritual immunity to their pathetic games. Your boundaries are forged in iron, and your intuition is sharper than a double-edged sword. Read that again in your spirit. You are entirely untouchable. The enemy is realizing that they are dealing with a totally different entity now. You are no longer the empath who bleeds for their constant wounds. You are the sovereign ruler of your own energetic field. You dictate exactly who gets access to your light, and their access has been permanently revoked without any chance of appeal. This is exactly why their panic is rapidly escalating. They know they lost the absolute best thing that ever happened to them. They threw away a rare treasure just to play in the mud, and now they have to live with the agonizing reality of their foolish choice every single day. The universe is wrapping you in a shield of absolute protection, while they are completely exposed to the elements of their own bad karma. You are standing on the edge of a massive spiritual inheritance. Everything they tried to steal from you is being returned, multiplied by 1,000. Your massive capacity for love was never a weakness. It was the exact currency of heaven, and your spiritual bank account is overflowing right now. The narcissist is completely bankrupt, but you are about to inherit the earth. Do not shrink back into the shadows to make them feel comfortable. Expand your energy. Claim your rightful place at the absolute top of the mountain. You earned this massive victory through blood and silent tears. Let them watch you rise. Let them choke on the ashes of the bridges they burned. You are the chosen one, and your reign of light has officially begun today. Now I need you to imagine this exact scenario clearly. The contrast between your current reality and their crumbling existence is becoming impossible to ignore. Let us do a side-by-side comparison of what is happening in the spiritual realm right now. Because the visual evidence of this divine shift is absolutely undeniable. While you are stepping into a period of massive expansion, they are shrinking into a dark corner of their own creation. Look closely at the physical toll this is taking on them. The heavy burden of maintaining a massive web of lies is finally breaking their body down. Their eyes look hollow and constantly frantic. Their energy feels incredibly heavy and repelling. They are aging rapidly because bitterness is a highly toxic acid that eats away at their physical vessel from the inside out. They are quite literally rotting in plain sight. But let us reframe your entire reality right here and right now. Look at you. You are radiating a completely different frequency. You are vibrating with an ageless glow that completely defies human logic. You look years younger than when you first walked away from their toxic environment. The heavy stress that used to carve deep lines into your face has been completely washed away by the grace of heaven. This is what happens when you unplug from the matrix of a narcissist. Your spirit breathes again. Your physical cells begin to repair the massive damage. You sleep peacefully through the night while they are tossing and turning under the crushing weight of their own guilt. Your inner peace is the ultimate cosmetic upgrade, and it is a glow that no amount of money could ever buy. Share this specific message with one soul who is desperately crying out in the dark for a shift. Be their angel today and help them see the truth. The narcissist sees your pictures and it sends them into a spiral of absolute rage. They cannot understand how you survived their brutal attacks. They expected your departure to leave you a broken, empty shell, but instead you became a glorious, unshakable fortress of pure light. They thought they took your best years. They thought they drained your youth and your vitality, but they were wildly mistaken. Heaven stepped in and completely reversed the clock on your life. The years the locusts ate are being restored to you in full. You are not just recovering from their abuse. You are massively upgrading to a version of yourself that they are completely terrified of. Every time your name comes up in their circle, it is a sharp reminder of their epic failure. The people around them can see the glaring difference. The flying monkeys are starting to whisper among themselves. They look at your massive success, and then they look at the miserable state of the narcissist. The math is finally starting to add up for everyone involved. The illusion is completely shattered. Listen to me very closely right now. The enemy is desperately trying to pull off a rebrand. They are posting fake happy updates, trying to convince the world that they are doing just fine. But the energy behind their posts screams of absolute desperation. It is a hollow performance that no one with any spiritual discernment is buying anymore. The mask is entirely broken. Meanwhile, you do not have to prove anything to anyone. Your silent ascension speaks volumes. You do not need to post long explanations or defend your character to strangers. Your radiant energy and your tangible success are the only statements you ever need to make. Your pure existence is a massive threat to their entire fraudulent reality, and there is nothing they can do to stop it. This brings us to a critical point that 99% of people miss. The narcissist needs chaos to feel alive. When you removed yourself from their chaotic game, you completely starved them of their primary fuel source. Now their internal chaos has nowhere to go but inward. It is consuming them rapidly. They are trapped in a prison that they built with their own bare hands. You are walking through open doors of massive opportunity. The universe is rolling out the red carpet for you because you passed the ultimate test of spiritual endurance. You maintained your integrity when they tried to drag you through the mud. You kept your heart pure when they tried to infect you with their dark venom, and heaven is rewarding you openly for your silent faithfulness. They are stuck on repeat. They are reliving the same miserable cycles with new victims, but the results are always the same, because the common denominator of their destruction is always themselves. You broke the cycle. You stepped off the toxic hamster wheel forever. You are a cycle breaker in the truest sense of the word, and your future is blindingly bright. Stay with me, because this next revelation is the key to everything. The climax of this entire ordeal is rapidly approaching. The public vindication you have been quietly waiting for is about to unfold in real time. Heaven is preparing the stage for a spectacular display of divine justice. You do not need to lift a single finger. The universe is orchestrating their absolute downfall perfectly. You are simply the audience to their inevitable collapse. The ageless glow you carry is the armor that protects you from their falling debris. Walk forward with your head held incredibly high. The battle is already over, and the massive victory is entirely yours. Keep your frequency tuned to the highest level, because the final verdict is about to be delivered loud and clear. And here is the verdict we promised at the very beginning of this message. That public collapse you were waiting for has finally arrived in real time. It is happening right now in front of the exact people they gossiped with. While you have been quietly healing in the shadows, they have been pushed into a blinding spotlight that exposes every single lie they ever told. Your complete silence did not just hurt their fragile feelings, it permanently ended their entire reign of toxic terror forever. Let us look at the exact X-ray of their current massive meltdown. They are standing in a crowded room full of their loyal flying monkeys. They try to spin another twisted narrative about you to gain some cheap sympathy. But this time, absolutely nobody in the room is nodding along with their words. The atmosphere is completely silent and incredibly heavy. The people they manipulated for years are staring at them with absolute pure disgust. You can see the exact moment the panic hits their physical body. Their heart rate spikes rapidly, and a cold sweat breaks out on their forehead. They start to stutter uncontrollably because the master manipulator has suddenly forgotten their own carefully rehearsed script. The grand illusion they spent years building is shattering into a million sharp pieces right on the floor. They are completely losing control of the narrative. They frantically look around the room, searching for a quick emotional lifeline. They desperately need someone to validate their pathetic victim routine right now. But the faces staring back at them are entirely cold and completely unforgiving. The people they manipulated are finally waking up from the dark spell and realizing that they were used as pawns in an incredibly sick game. The web of deception is completely unraveling. This is the divine justice heaven prepared exclusively for you today. You do not have to lift a single finger to defend your precious name. Their own toxic actions are burying them alive in front of a live audience, and there is no way for them to escape this trap. They are choking on the very lies they tried to force down your throat. The spiritual boomerang has returned with a massive destructive force. They try to backtrack and change the subject to quickly save face, but it is far too late for any kind of damage control. Someone in the room finally calls them out directly on their massive hypocrisy, and that is the exact moment the narcissist completely loses their mind and throws away every ounce of their remaining fake dignity. The mask slips off entirely in front of everyone. The monster underneath is fully exposed to the light. They throw a massive tantrum, exactly like a spoiled child losing a game. They scream and deflect because their fragile ego is being crushed into absolute dust. But their explosive rage only proves to the entire crowd that every single thing you warned them about was absolutely true all along. Their spectacular meltdown is the ultimate public validation of your pure sanity. You were completely right from the very beginning. Heaven is forcing them to drink the bitter cup of their own dark poison. They realize in this devastating moment that they can never replace your pure energy. They threw away the only genuine diamond they ever held just to play with cheap rocks in the mud, and the realization is completely destroying them. The staggering weight of that eternal regret is literally crushing their chest. They are entirely bankrupt in the spiritual realm. Every time your name is spoken now, it acts as a physical blow to their stomach. They cannot escape the haunting reality of your massive, expanding success. While they are publicly unraveling, you are stepping into a permanent, untouchable timeline where their dark energy can never reach you again. You are vibrating at a frequency that they can no longer even perceive. You have won this battle entirely in the spirit. This is the exact sequence of events that was sealed in the throne room of heaven. The enemy tried to break you to prevent this exact glorious day from happening. But your quiet obedience in private activated this massive public blessing and turned their evil plans completely upside down. You endured the dark season so you could stand on this mountain of absolute triumph. The storm has officially passed over your life. The karmic debt they accumulated is being collected in full today. There are absolutely no extensions, and there are zero discounts available for them. The universe is permanently stripping them of their false and stolen authority. They will walk away from this spectacular collapse with absolutely nothing to show for their years of relentless manipulation and deceit. Their reputation is entirely ruined beyond repair. Their inner circle is completely destroyed by their own hands. Read that again, deep within your own spirit. The people who plotted your downfall are now begging for mercy. They are facing a divine court that they absolutely cannot appeal. They are trapped forever in a dark prison of their own making. And the most beautiful part of this entire divine sequence is that you hold the only key to their freedom. But you have already thrown that key into the deepest ocean. Their access to your light is revoked forever. Your specific depth is utterly unreplicable in this shallow world. They are finding this out the hard way as their new supplies completely abandon ship. The narcissist is left entirely alone in the wreckage of their own pathetic life. This is not a temporary setback for them, but a permanent eviction from the sacred realm of the blessed. Heaven has spoken its final, unquestionable word on this matter. The case is permanently closed. Chosen one, take a deep breath and let this ultimate vindication settle into your bones. The brutal battle you fought in complete silence has finally been won out loud. You have survived the blazing fire and emerged as pure, untouchable gold while they are left scrambling in the worthless dirt. Watch them fall while you ascend to your rightful eternal throne. The dark era of your suffering is officially over right now. You walked into this season bleeding from wounds inflicted by people blind to your true worth. They expected you to stay down in the dirt. They wanted you completely broken and begging for their toxic crumbs. But look at you now. You are no longer waiting in wound for an apology from a master manipulator. You have transcended their chaotic matrix forever. While they are publicly unraveling, you are stepping into your permanent, untouchable, ageless glow. The spiritual exhaustion is completely shattering right here and right now. Step into your absolute power and receive the exact harvest heaven prepared specifically for you. The painful cycle of being a human battery is officially over. You are the cycle breaker. You are the remnant chosen to rewrite the spiritual DNA of your entire bloodline, and you have succeeded beyond measure. Your silent endurance was the ultimate weapon that completely starved their demons. Now you stand victorious on the very mountain they tried to bury you under. Your spirit is vibrating with a cellular, knowing that this war is eternally won. Do not let your logic talk you out of this profound peace. You are entirely free from their dark grip. Say this out loud with me right now. I claim my permanent freedom. I am completely untouchable by their dark energy. My frequency is protected by the highest authority in the universe. Now type 777 in the comments below to physically anchor this shift. This is not just a spoken declaration. It is a divine boundary forged in pure iron. The narcissist can never cross this sacred line again. You are the sovereign ruler of your own atmosphere, and your reign of pure light has officially commenced. But we absolutely cannot stop here. The universe has delivered this massive vindication to you today for a very specific reason. Heaven demands immediate obedience to lock this high frequency in place. You did not survive the blazing fire just to live a mediocre life in the shadows. The verdict of explosive abundance has already been signed in heaven on your behalf, but it requires a physical anchor on earth to fully activate. The matrix will try to whisper financial doubt into your left brain. It will tell you to wait. Silence that lying voice. God does not measure your faith by your fleeting thoughts. He measures your faith by your absolute speed of obedience. The window of multiplication is standing wide open at this exact second. Prove you are truly ready to receive the immense blessing that is pouring out of the spiritual realm right now. Your generosity literally triggers the massive harvest. Sow your seed of faith today to partner your finances with this divine mandate. Give a super thanks right now and watch heaven multiply your harvest before the sun even rises. This is the ultimate test of your spiritual alignment. Do not hesitate for a single second when the universe tells you to move. Your rapid obedience is the currency that forces the heavens to open wide over your life. Every financial seed you sow today is a physical demonstration that you trust the massive breakthrough coming your way. The dark elite want you completely trapped in a poverty mindset. They want you hoarding your energy out of fear, but you are the chosen one. You operate exclusively from a place of infinite cosmic abundance. Subscribe to this sanctuary right now so you never miss the exact prophetic instruction heaven releases next. We are building an unbreakable army of cycle breakers, and you belong on the front lines. The algorithm did not bring you to this exact moment by chance. A divine appointment was scheduled. Press the subscribe button to put a permanent spiritual shield around this profound truth. You are locking arms with the elite remnant who absolutely refuse to be governed by the toxic matrix. Share this specific message with one soul who is desperately crying out in the dark for a massive shift. Be their angel today. There is someone out there who feels completely isolated. They are drained by a master manipulator, and they need to hear the sound of freedom ringing in this powerful message. Sending this to them is an act of spiritual warfare that cuts another demonic cord. We are dismantling their false kingdoms, one awakened soul at a time, and your rapid obedience is the catalyst for that unstoppable global awakening right now. The enemy is completely powerless in the face of your divine alignment. They will spend the rest of their miserable days trying to replicate the light you gave them for free, but they will always fail, because your light was never a commodity to be traded. It was a sacred gift from the universe that they grossly mishandled. And now heaven has permanently relocated that gift. You are breathing the rare air of absolute victory, and nobody can ever pull you back down into the dirt. The era of your silent suffering is permanently closed. The chapter of your glorious vindication is fully written and signed in the throne room of heaven. Walk forward with the absolute confidence of a warrior who has already won the eternal war today. Do not look back at the burning bridges behind you. You are perfectly covered, you are highly exalted, and you are forever free.